am going to do a little pack with me video. I have had so many requests over the years to do a packing video, and I've never done it because I just feel like there's not a way for me to make it a fun and interesting video, but so many requests, so I'm just going to do it. So I'm not going to tell you what to pack. I'm just going to kind of show you how I pack my carry-on, and then you can take some tips and tricks and try to do it for your own packing. So I like to roll everything. I have tried it all ways. I've tried packing cubes. I've tried just like regular folding, and I prefer the rolling method, so that's what I'm doing. And I take one outfit per night, and I have them linked together with a rubber band because I try to color coordinate my husband and I, and he, when we get into the resort, will usually start just like rummaging through the suitcases. He wants everything like hung up and put away, and if we have too many outfits that are the same color, then I don't know what was supposed to go together. So to try to combat his like craziness, I rubber band them together. Now this definitely takes up more space doing this, because when you're rolling you can put things in different like nooks and crannies and whatnot, but when you have it tied together, like, it's pretty big. But I know that I should have plenty of space, so we're only going for 4 nights. I think the most that I've ever packed carry-on only is 9 nights, but I believe I could do more than that if it was necessary. So the biggest thing about carry-on only is that you have to plan for it. So I start about 4 to 6 weeks in advance, and I make sure that I understand the resort's dress code. Does my husband need pants, or can he wear Bermuda shorts? Does he need a colored shirt, or is a regular shirt fine? Closed-toed shoes. Like, you just have to like really make sure you understand the dress code, because you don't want to get there and not be able to dine at the places that you want to. So again, I start that a few weeks in advance because I like to buy a lot of new things. So I want to make sure that I have ample time to get everything in, try it on, make sure it works, yada yada. So I do 1 outfit per night. I usually just do 1, so like we're doing 4 nights, and my husband will bring 2 pairs of pants. That's it. So he'll rewear the pants twice, and I try to pick obviously colors that match, but if you just do like khaki, so we're doing khaki and blue this time, and that's gonna go with everything. But I know a lot of people that will just take 1 pair of khaki pants and that's all they take. So that's a really good way to save a lot of space by not taking, you know, pants or shorts for every single night. Now me, I need stuff for every night. I also take an extra, so I'll take 1 extra dress for myself, and I'll take 1 extra shirt for him, because you just never know if there's gonna be a rip, a spill, if something doesn't fit. You just never know. So in an effort to be prepared for all things, I just have learned to take an extra. And packing is kind of like, you don't know how it's gonna go. You could put something down and then you get a little ways and you're like, oh, I need to readjust that. That's fine, because you're never gonna pack the same way twice. Like clothing wise, you're probably never gonna take the same things, so it's never gonna fit the same. I also take a bathing suit for each day, and so does my husband. Now if you're really tight on space, or let's say you are more interested in shoes than you are bathing suits, you could cut down and maybe just take 2. I definitely recommend taking at least 2, because nobody wants to put on a wet bathing suit, and in the humidity they just do not dry. So I recommend taking at least 2. And so I roll everything first, and then the things that are going to go flat, I do that last. And I do that because there's grooves in the bottom of most suitcases where the handles are. So when you're rolling, you can kind of get stuff down there, but if you started with the flat things, you're gonna be like missing some really valuable real estate. And when you're packing carry-on only, you need all the space that you could get. So I'm gonna put his pants on top. And I'm using the Away, the bigger carry-on. And I really like this suitcase, so I'll show you in a minute. There's a compression that you roll down, but at first I thought it was going to be kind of stupid and it wasn't going to work. But after the first time using this suitcase, I was sold. And the sides of your suitcase, I can usually go in and like get some stuff down there if you have small things like tank tops or like socks or underwear. This time it's actually pretty well packed, but I will get one tank top down the bottom. And now I'm going to put that compression on. That's going to really tighten everything up here. Okay. That really brings everything down nicely. And full confession, I usually do have to sit on the suitcases to close them, at least the one with the clothes. So how I do it is I do one suitcase fully of clothes, and then the other one is just like extra stuff. And why I do that is just in case like TSA needs to go through your bags. I know that I've packed everything. I know that there's nothing that shouldn't be packed, but sometimes, you know, they still do get opened. So I can almost guarantee that the clothes suitcase is going to have no issues and it's going to go right through. Part of packing, carry-on only, is not only planning, but planning your outfits to what you're going to do, not just taking everything and throwing them, you know, from your closet right into the suitcase. So I know that I'm not a person that is going to do a lot of activities that requires like daytime outfit, like shorts, tank tops, things like that. I'm not going to do a bunch of excursions, and if I was going to, I would pack for that. I know that this trip I'm going to do a bike tour, so I've packed gym clothes for that. But aside from that, I am going to be in my bathing suit from breakfast until dinner. So you really can get away with not packing too much when you know you're just going to be in a bathing suit for most of the day. Now I take a rain jacket with me on every trip, and I also take what I call a day outfit or a lounge outfit. And that is just if it's really raining and you're going to be inside all day, I like to take a long sleeve shirt and leggings and the rain jacket. So all of the clothes are in, and then I also pack all of our like undergarments in this like packing bag, just because if your suitcase does have to get, you know, rummaged through, you're not going to have like socks and underwear and everything like all strewn about the airport. Of course they may open the bag, but that's fine. They can quickly look in without having like your underwear all over the place. So that's what I do. It does take up a lot more space than if you were able to just put like your socks and underwear all around. That's what I would do if I wasn't doing this. I would get in all the little crevices. But this is how I'm going to do it now because I know that I have enough space to do it. Also, you want to make sure that you're using all the space possible. So I'm not on this trip, but if you were taking like a Yeti cup, you want to make sure you're packing that with stuff. You don't just want an empty cup. That is a great place to put socks in, or I take a liquid IV every night and emergency every morning. So like I would stick all these in the cup if I was taking one. Put those in. I also take some washcloths because they can be hard to come by in certain countries, and I just like need them to wash my face. So I just go to like the Dollar Tree, I'll get a pack of them, and then I'll just throw them away if I need them. If I don't need them, I leave them in the suitcase, and it's great. But I have run into situations where I didn't have them, or they just were not replenishing them enough. I also take a raft because I just love the sit raft. I like to sit, I like the drink holder. So I bring that. Now I've been using these for years and they've been great. My last 2 trips, they have popped on like the second day. So I'm also taking a backup of a different kind because that's how much I need my raft. All right, so get these in. I'll put this over here. So it's really just about using like all available space. Selfie stick, so when someone's not around. Straws. You know, most resorts are either going straw free or they're doing the paper straws. I hate paper straws. You just cannot have a pina colada with no straw or a paper straw. So I bring plastic straws. I do also have reusable straws. I don't usually use those during the day at the pool because I often switch drinks and I don't want to be washing out my straw. If you are going to bring a Yeti or straws, you'll want to take a little like dish soap so you can wash your cups out at night. For jewelry, I have a hanging jewelry container. I usually just hang this up in the bathroom at a resort. Get yourself on Amazon some silicone ring. I cannot tell you the amount of people that I see that lose their rings. The first time I ever went to Mexico, I almost lost my rings because I was in the ocean. It went over my knuckle. I had to literally catch it. So I understand that there's honeymooners and you don't want to take your ring off. Just leave it at home, for real. Like, you would rather be without it for a week than lose it forever. So go on Amazon, get yourself a silicone ring. And my Amazon storefront is linked in the description. So you can go on there and kind of browse around and see if anything would be useful to you. I also take a ton of medicine. Seriously, I take medicine with me that I've never like used in my life, but you just don't want to be in a situation where you need something and you don't have it. And let's say you are sick at like 2:30 in the morning, the resort gift shop is going to be closed. So what are you going to do? So I take everything. You definitely are going to want like a first aid kit. I have stepped on glass at a pool before, so you know, you definitely want like band-aids, alcohol, Neosporin. I have obviously just like your normal like Advil, Dayquil, NyQuil, Benadryl. You want Imodium, Tums. I take like eye wash stuff. So much. I took swimmer's ear when I took my son and his friend last year. I've never needed that once in my life, but you just have to like be prepared. So just take anything that you think you might need. And even if you don't need it, somebody else might need it. You know, on the like resort forums, people are always asking for things. And then I take a Bluetooth speaker because I like to listen to music when we're getting ready at night. I do not use this on the beach or at the pool. That's, you know, you want to be respectful of everyone, but I definitely do use it in the room. Hat. So I usually bring a couple extension cords. My husband has most of the cords in his bag, which I'm not going to show you, but definitely some extension cords because sometimes the rooms just don't have enough space at all. And then you want to make sure that you have enough phone chargers. I actually think that I bring 6 with me, and I wish I was joking, but I'm not. But between like all my bags, I just like to have extra because sometimes you lose one, you leave it in the airport, one breaks, whatever. So I again like to be prepared, and I bring a ton with me. And I've given some away actually because people, you know, you forget it. You forget it. You stay at an airport hotel the night before, you leave it, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Kindle, I do not read on the plane. I watch Netflix. So I'm going to put this in the bag. My shoes, so I'm like pretty low maintenance. So I usually just do 2 pairs of like dressy like dinner flip-flops. I'm just bringing 2 pairs of Tory Burch sandals. I'm going to wear my like beach sandals on the plane, and then I recently started making my husband wear his dinner shoes on the plane because he has size 11 feet and they were taking up half the suitcase. So he just wears like sneakers like this, like dressy, whatever. They're dressy enough to wear to dinner, but he also feels totally comfortable wearing them on the plane or wearing them if he's just gonna go to the gym quick one morning. And then beach bags, I bring 3 usually. So I bring a big beach bag, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I bring like 2 just like tote bags because I'm in and out of the room all day long. I'm constantly forgetting something or I want to get something. And I, you know, go up to the room for one thing and it ends up being 5 things. And then I'm like, oh, I should have had a bag. So bring extra bags now. And then my husband usually just takes a backpack, so when we do like the bike tour, he'll take that and he'll throw in like waters or like whatever like kind of camera stuff we'll need for the day. And smush this down. And like I said, packing is not like a one size fits all, so you may have to like move stuff around. You may be like, oh, this doesn't fit as well as I thought. Now, I am pretty confident that I can get this in without taking it out and changing anything, but let's see. That's good enough for now. So, moving on. The next suitcase is semi-packed. So this is actually a take 2 video. I did the whole thing already and the camera stopped halfway through. I didn't realize it till I was done. So, doing it again. So I told you I do like kind of like a miscellaneous and then a clothes. The miscellaneous one is kind of like always semi-packed because I have double of everything. I travel so often, like we do all-inclusives like 6 times a year, so I have double of everything. I have double makeup, I have double hair stuff, like literally I could be ready to go at the drop of a hat. So this kind of always stays kind of ready to go. So in this bag, I just have my hair curler, sunglasses, my purse for the evening. We do candy treat bags. I'll have to fix that, but we do candy treat bags, which obviously was not zipped up all the way. So those go in there. Toiletries. I know that this is like the big thing that everyone is all worried about. And I have to say, you may be disappointed with my answer or my solution or whatever I do. So the official TSA rule is 1 quart-size bag per person. I don't exactly follow that. So I use these hard plastic containers from Amazon, whatever, you can get them at Walmart, Target, and I take as many as I want. If I needed 3 of these, 4, that's how many I would take. This is all I need for this trip, so that's what I'm taking. But I have TSA pre-check, so we just leave everything in the suitcases. We don't open anything up. So TSA knows how many liquids I have. But if you are going through the regular line and you need to, you know, put everything in the gray bins, they have no idea whose things is whose. So as long as everything is 3.4 ounces, that's what I do. And it's worked out for me just fine. I've probably been using these containers for, I don't know, maybe 6 years or so. And I get everything from either Sephora, Ulta. Oh, hold on one second. Alexa, off. Okay, sorry about that. I set a timer so I would stop the video halfway through, so hopefully the camera doesn't shut off on me again. So I get everything from either Amazon, CVS, Target, Ulta, Sephora, and pretty much anything that you want will come in a small container. So for sunscreen, that's usually what most people are worried about, I have the 3 ounce from Target. If there's just 2 of us, I will take 1 3 ounce bottle for every night that we're there. That usually leaves us with at least 1 bottle extra, but you would rather have extra than not have enough. Now you can buy sunscreen on site at most you know, stores. The resort stores are going to be pretty expensive. It'll be anywhere from $25 to $45. So I like to try to be prepared, but sometimes I do buy 1 spray just because I want it. So I also bring aloe because I will burn. So everything, you can get everything in the mini bottles, and it works out just fine. I like to do Elta MD for my face. I get that on Amazon. And like I was saying, I pretty much buy all small containers, but if you have something that you like, you can just put it in a smaller container. So for instance, I have been using a cleansing balm, and technically I could take this on the plane because it's not a liquid, it's a solid. I could take it, but I just scraped it out and put it in a container because the size difference is much smaller. So when you're talking about limited space with a carry-on, I still wanted this, but I put it in this. So that is what I'll do for that. And you also can do, so they have like liquid bottles, so if you have a certain shampoo that you want to use, you can, you know, do that. And you also could do, so this is sunscreen, but it's a stick, so it's a solid. So it would not count towards your liquid. So if you're really worried that you're not going to have enough space for liquids, you could do something like this. Also, for like bug spray, I get eaten alive, so I need bug spray. So you could take a container like this, it's 2.5 ounces, or you could get a pack of wipes. And obviously the wipes are going to be so much smaller than this, but it does the same thing. So there's a lot of different ways around how you could pack, and it's kind of just what's going to work best for you. Now makeup generally is pretty small, but you can still get really small ones. So this is a Smashbox foundation, I have a Tarte mascara, so they're all really small. You know, maximize your space. Get just the smallest possible that you know that it's going to get you through your trip and nothing else. And I really take advantage of whatever the resort is offering. So most resorts are going to, at minimum, have shampoo, body wash, and body lotion. That's going to be like pretty much every resort. And then you're gonna get, you know, more amenities. So like where I'm going, I know that they're going to provide toothpaste. Like I know that there's certain things they're going to provide. So I factor that in. I don't pack the things that I know they're going to provide. I do pack deep conditioner, because even if they provide conditioner, I know that it's not going to be enough for my hair, especially when you're out in the sun and just in like chlorine and the salt water. So there's just certain things that I need to pack. And I'm not picky, so I'm totally fine using the resort stuff. You may be like, no, I have blonde hair, so I need purple shampoo, or I just like don't like, you know, whatever. So that's fine. And you'll just have to account for that when you're doing your packing. So liquids, I really don't consider to be a problem. I feel like that's what most people think is going to be the hardest thing, but for me it's pretty easy once you kind of get the hang and just buy everything that you need that's small. And I really do recommend these containers because they're thick, they're not going to rip like when you put something in just like, you know, the bag, it's really thin in the corners, you know what I'm saying. So I recommend you get a couple of these and you just pack away. And then I put the non-liquid makeup in here, razors in here, toothbrushes in here, just all my hair stuff. Like, so all of the other like toiletry stuff that I need is just going to be in a bag, all nice and ready to go. And then I know that I said I don't love packing cubes. I really only use them if I'm going to be doing a split stay, just to keep organized. So if I'm going to be staying at 2 resorts, I don't want to have to think about, well, what am I taking out of the suitcase and what am I not? So I would use packing cubes in that instance. So we actually are going to be doing an overnight stay. So our airport got rid of our non-stop to Cancun, and we only have really short layovers, less than 30 minutes, that aren't attainable, or we wouldn't get in until dinner time. So we're actually going to do an overnight flight. We're going to stay at a hotel in Charlotte, and then we're actually going to land in Cancun really early at like 9 a.m. So in this cube is going to be everything that I need for the hotel and whatever I'm going to wear the next day. So it's going to be really easy. So when I get to the hotel that we're staying at in Charlotte, all I have to do is open up this side. Everything that I need is going to be on this side of the suitcase. Now, if I was staying for a longer time, or I had more things to pack, like let's say I was taking a snorkel mask, or I was taking things that were going to take up a lot of space, I would take the packing cube and I would actually put it in, I would put it into my personal item. So your personal item can really come in handy. It depends on how much space that you need. So I knew that I was going to be like fine with my space, so I'm not going to use the bag as like a suitcase this time, but I have previously. So for my personal item this time, I just have things that I'm going to need on the plane. I call this my seat back bag. So in here I have my iPhone charger, my iPad charger, gum, hand sanitizer, hand cream, chapstick, Advil, nasal spray because my nose gets really dry when I fly, a pen, just like whatever you are going to need like right close by you. It's easy to just like pull out and there you go. So sunglasses, tip money, and passport. You always want to keep that right close near you. A bag of snacks because I am not about paying $15 at the airport for some Twizzlers. No, no. And then a beach bag. So I'm going to take this big beach bag. This is just a reusable bag from TJ Maxx. I love taking these because they're really big. They fold up really small. They cost no money. So if you want to leave it behind, you can. So I'm taking that because, like I said, we're landing at 9 a.m. So I will be to the resort well before noon. Our room will not be ready. Check-in at most resorts is between 3 and 4, but you can still get there and use the property. Now, you don't want to get there and then have to open your suitcase and be pulling everything out. So if I was not doing an overnight hotel, I still would pack a bag in my personal item, so when I got to the resort, it would have my, swimsuit, whatever I needed for the day, would have everything all ready to go. So I also bring just a small bag that's going to go in my beach bag, and that's going to have my sunscreen in it. So I have everything that I'm going to need for the day all ready to go without having to rifle through my suitcase. Now, again, if I was going for a long period of time and I needed more space, I would use a bigger bag. So I have used this weekender bag quite a few times and I love it. I got this on Amazon. The bottom unzips, so usually what I would do is I would put all of our beach things in the bottom. So when I got to the resort, I would just unzip it. It would have the beach bag, it would have our sunscreen, it would have bathing suits, it would have everything ready to go. And then there's enough room in the actual bag that I could fit 2 packing cubes in it full of clothes if I needed to. Plus I would still have room for my iPad, book, whatever you wanted on the plane. So again, I'm not a fan of the packing cubes for actually packing, but I am for organizational purposes because you don't want to be rummaging through your bag on the plane for whatever, your headphones, and your clothes are coming out. So I would just think about how much you need to pack and really utilize a big bag for your personal item if you need to. I don't need to this time, but there's many times that I do. And then another good tip that we do is I take things behind that are like old and that I'll just get rid of. So for instance, we all have socks, right, that you're like, oh, I don't really need these anymore. These are going to be like on the way out. So I'll bring those. You wear them to the gym or whatever. After you wear them, you toss them. Same with shirts. My husband, all the shirts that he brings, the t-shirts, he'll wear them to the gym or to bed. And then after he wears it the week, we throw them away. So it is a really good way if you're someone that's going to do like souvenirs and things like that. It's a great way to have room in your suitcase. I know that half of my suitcase will be empty because I will throw away some clothes. The treat bag's not going to be in there. The raft's not going to be in there. So all that stuff, after I use it, I'm just going to leave it behind. And then I'm going to bring a couple big beach hats. And obviously I'm not going to pack this in my suitcase. When going through the airport, I just kind of put the tie around the handle of my luggage and I let it go. And I usually put these under the seat in front of me just so I'm not taking up space in the overhead bin. If for some reason our bags were the only bags in the bin, then after everyone got on the plane, then I may move it. But again, I want to be respectful and make sure everyone has enough space. So, oh, the only thing that I didn't mention was water shoes. So we are not bringing sneakers. So we always bring water shoes. So I will wear my water shoes on the day that we're going to do the bike tour. There's no sense in packing a pair of sneakers if I know that I'm only going to be doing something one time. But I do know that I would wear the water shoes. So it just is kind of like another way to maximize the space that you're going to have. Now, if you're going to go to the gym every morning, you definitely want to pack a pair of sneakers. But I am realistic, and I know that I am not going to go to the gym every morning. So I'm not going to waste the precious, valuable space with something that I'm not going to use. So I usually add things into my suitcase afterwards. So I do like the initial packing, and I usually do that about 2 weeks before I travel, and that gives me enough time to then think back and make sure that I didn't miss anything. And I have plenty of space. Like, I have a lot of room in here that I could add more stuff to it if I needed to. So I don't feel like I'm missing out by doing carry-on whatsoever. I actually love it. It's so time saving. I just get off the plane and just go. I don't have to wait. I don't have to worry about anything going missing in my luggage or my luggage going missing. I always have it. It's always within my sight. And I think that once you go carry on, you just won't want to go back. And I understand that it's not for everyone. I'm pretty low maintenance, and I like to just, I'm in a rush to go everywhere. So this works out really good for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you real soon in another video.